races to go.
Amongst all the discussion about what's happened, the racing has livened up beautifully.
Track conditions have improved immensely. That after the third round of heats, Nigel, they did a really strong track grade, got rid of a lot of the loose material, and all of a sudden the riders could really charge hard.
Absolutely, and Chris Holder and Jason Crump will come out in the last two heats because Holder was a tactical substitute there in place of Davey Watt, and we got a beautiful sunset here in Melilla now. We were deeply concerned that we might not get any racing at all with the weather forecast we saw earlier.
Such a bonus. It was looking so threatening for hours before the event.
Let's get down to Chris Louis now.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, I'm just about to be joined by Nicky Pedersen. Nicky, the pressure is most definitely on now. The Australian Joker working well there.
Yeah, I mean, Denmark hasn't played the Joker at all, you know, in the whole series. Yeah, it's just tough, you know. It's like a football match. If somebody's in front by 3-0, you know, the next one counts the same. But no, the Speedway, it's the rules. Got squeezed a little bit out of second bend. Yeah, I had to shut off the gas.
You're still winning, though. You're 1 point up, and with such a young team as well. I mean, you've got to be very proud of the youngsters in the side.
Yeah, we are, but we want to win it fair and square, you know, and we're not all these bloody Joker things and stuff. It's tough.
So, some interesting races still to come, though. Chris Holder, he's a Grand Prix star, plenty of experience, going up against Michael Jensen in this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Michael can beat him. He knows the way around here. It's just not nice. We have to shut off the gas and let somebody past us and stuff like that. You know, it doesn't really work, but we're fighting and we can get it if we get a little bit of a luck.
Right on, mate. Thank you.
Well, the momentum is with Australia because this is what it meant to Nicky Pedersen. He's got a point there, Nicky, no doubt about that, but this is pure drama now, pure sporting theatre. And as we say, for those watching Speedway for the first time, it really is gripping stuff here in Melilla. The scoreline then, Denmark 36, Australia 35, Russia 24, and Sweden have 22. Simple question, Kelvin, who's going to win the World Cup?
I fancy Australia. I just think that they might just come right here in the last two races. Chris Holder looks really quick. Jason Crump is desperate to pick up another World Cup gold medal. He knows what winning's all about, but it won't be easy. Michael Jensen has been terrific so far, but gotta say, it won't be easy. Michael Jensen's been good, but Holder, what a ride last time, back-to-back races for him.
Well, this is going to be a sensational race again, and you cannot predict the outcome here. 1 point in Denmark's favour. As I said earlier this morning, we were looking at heavy rain on the radar and changing our plans to stay for another day here in Melilla, but it's turned out to be a fantastic night, a memorable night of Speedway, and one which will live in the memory for a long, long time. Total drama, controversy, lots of talking points, and some great Speedway in this World Cup final as well. We're up to the penultimate race here in Melilla. Here's your lineup. Fredrik Lindgren for Sweden off the inside, then it's Grigory Laguta for the Russians off gate 2. Michael Jensen is going off gate 3 for the Danes, and Chris Holder, second successive ride, he goes off the outside.
Got to be important in the first corner. Holder's coming from the outside, not easy there, and Michael Jensen, as we've seen all week long, is a tough customer and he's fast, and coming out of gate 3 he might just have the advantage there. Going to be tight. Lindgren might be a bit of a spoiler. He's coming from the inside, and the inside gate's quite useful, but really dramatic stuff coming down to the last couple of races. The youngster, Michael Jensen at 20, can he deal with the pressure right now?
Heat number 19, penultimate race of the night. Denmark still have a 1 point advantage over Australia. Denmark in yellow, Australia in white, helmet colours, and away from the start it's a good one for Laguta, in blue for Russia, and now the battle is on with Holder coming around the inside, Jensen on the inside, Lindgren is in red for Sweden. Here comes Chris Holder in turns 3 and 4, he's in the dirt, Jensen is going to close the door. This would open up a 2 point gap for Denmark with 1 race to go. Holder has to pass Jensen here, but Jensen is riding a stunning line here in second place for Denmark.
Jensen, he's a smart kid, he just slams the door shut. Holder now moves to the outside.
Here we go!
Laguta's out in front. Chris Holder has to pull a big locker. Jensen's got eyes in the back of his head, slams the door shut. Such an intelligent ride from the young Dane in second place, killing the momentum of Chris Holder in third. Laguta's away with it. Michael Jensen riding such a mature race in second place.
Fantastic ride from Jensen. This could do it for Denmark because they're going to have a 2-point lead with 1 race to go and a win for Gregory Laguta. But Jensen had eyes in the back of his head. He knew Holder was coming round the outside and he blocked his line brilliantly.
Such a clever ride that was from Jensen because Holder was generating more and more speed. Really beginning to put pressure on the young day. He switches to the inside. Laguta delighted with that. You've got to say they fully deserve it. But they've got the bronze medal. That's great news for Russia. Congratulations to them. Obviously the focus of attention was between the 2 riders in second and third, and Michael Jensen. That was a world-class ride to give his team every chance of picking up gold tonight.
Gregory Laguta secures the bronze medal for Russia. Congratulations to them. Michael Jensen second, Chris Holder third, Fredrik Lindgren at the back, and look at the scoreline now with 1 race to go. It's Denmark 38, Australia 36, Russia 27, Sweden 22. A 2-point gap, and Heat 20 is a decider for the World Cup. And of course, if Australia win it and Denmark finish third, we'll be level and we'll have a run-off for the World Cup.
You know, Nigel, this is such a mature rider from such a young kid. You know, he was out there. We see it once again. Laguta out of gate 2 makes a stormer into the first corner. Lindgren there in second place. Jensen sneaks up the inside. Holder has to squeeze round the outside of Freddie Lindgren initially, but then Jensen rides with like eyes in the back of his head. Inside, outside, and every move was absolutely perfectly timed. Here, look at that, right across in front of Holder. He has to pull a locker, kills his momentum, and Holder then gets dropped back. And that young Danish rider really does ride a stormer. Laguta out in front, super stuff for the Russians to pick up a medal on the night. Fully deserved, they're delighted. But I tell you what, we're down to Heat 20. Which way is it going to go?
Absolute drama. We're down to the deciding race for the Speedway World Cup, and quite simply, Australia have to score 2 more points in this race than Denmark to force a runoff. So
Crump's
that's what it means. Yep.
Crump's on the inside, Nigel. That's a big plus for them, no doubt about that. Got to say the Danes are coming from the outside. Iversen's been fast. It will be interesting. Is it, maybe it's gate 3. I'm just having a sneaky look down there. Jonsson could be a spoiler coming out of gate 2. The Swedes have had a night over. No, Iversen does roll up into gate 4. Oh, what a clash. Inside gate with Crump. The outside with Iversen. Whoa, can't wait to see the first corner.
Denmark, we remind you, have won the World Cup under its current format before. They did it in 2008 and 2006. Jason Crump off the inside in white, Andreas Jonsson gate 2 red, E.Sayfutdinov for Russia gate 3 in blue, Niels Christian Iversen off the outside in yellow. It's a shootout between Denmark and Australia. Australia in the white helmet colour off the inside gate with Crump, and off the outside is Niels Christian Iversen in yellow.
They're going to need Sayfutdinov Aussies here. No doubt about that. Sayfutdinov's won his last 2 rides, and you've got to say that if Sayfutdinov can split the difference between Jason Crump gets to the front, there could well be a race off with Iversen back in third. Drama in the extreme.
Heat number 20, the World Cup is on the line here in Manila after the most extraordinary night of Speedway. Jonsson's made a good start, and now Crump has second place. Here comes Sayfutdinov. Oh, Crump almost gets off the bike. Third place now is Iversen, the leaders with Sayfutdinov. Second place here is Andreas Jonsson. Third now is Iversen, and Jason Crump has to ride the race of his life now. As it stands, Denmark are world champions.
It's going to be really difficult from there, Nigel. Jason Crump got in all sorts of trouble in that first corner. Sayfutdinov and Andreas Jonsson storming out of the start. Crump can't land a blow. Iversen's keeping a sneaky look over his shoulder. Tell you what, it looks like this young, forceful team full of confidence from Denmark are going to pick up the gold medal.
It's the dawn of a new era for Team Denmark. There's no Kenneth Pierre, no Bjarne Pedersen, no Hans Andersen. But going into the last lap, it looks like they're going to be world champions. Sayfutdinov has the lead. Second place is Andreas Jonsson. Third place is Niels Christian Iversen. Jason Crump is going to come round. But Denmark have done enough. And it's Denmark who are world champions for 2012. What a story that is. Congratulations to the Great Danes who win the World Cup.
Fabulous week of Speedway for the Danish team. They started last Saturday night with such a great...
Let's hear from Nicky Pedersen and Chris Louis now.
Thanks, Nigel. Nicky, I can see what it means to you. Oh, dear.
What a team! What a team effort! We tried every single thing, you know. Woo!
With these youngsters, the future for Danish Speedway looks good. They're going to give you guys a hard time in the Grand Prix as well, aren't they?
I can only say respect to Anna Seger, you know, he makes some move in this World Team Cup here, you know, but yeah, someone out there looking for him, and we won it, and we're so happy with the new generation, the 2 new boys.
Congratulations, mate, well done.
Thank you. Yeah!
Great reaction from Nicky Pedersen. Sensational story here tonight. Denmark are world champions. And congratulations to them, the rightful winners on the night.
Aussies are gutted, can't believe it. They've been outsmarted here tonight. Got to say that the Danes have ridden a great week long of Speedway. They won on Thursday night. They did a really good job back in Bydgoszcz with such a young, youthful team. Got to say that Pedersen didn't ride that night, but that was superb stuff. And when it came down to the death, they just hung on in there under immense pressure from the Aussies. The Danes are back.
Heat 20, the official result then. Let's just confirm for you now. E.Sayfutdinov the winner, Andreas Jonsson second for Sweden. Niels Christian Iversen was third for Denmark. Jason Crump at the back. And this is what it means now. The final score for the 2012 Monster Energy Speedway World Cup final. Denmark 39, Australia 36, Russia 30, and Sweden have 24. Many congratulations to Denmark, not forgetting Leon Madsen, who played his part in this campaign as well. A tremendous effort for Denmark, who win the World Cup here for 2012 with their youngsters that they've introduced. And it really is a sensational story. Back in Denmark, they'll be absolutely thrilled to bits. It'll make major national newspaper headlines. And this is how they did it in the early stages. Crump almost got off the bike there. And Sayfutdinov was superb. Chris Holder is with our man Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, very, very despondent, Chris Holder. I can see the disappointment. It was a tough night.
It was, man. You know, we were in it all the way, and I think when the track got easy to ride, they got quicker. You know, I'm not saying they went on the pace; they were quick all night. But when it got slick, they seemed to find it quicker than us. And yeah, you know, so close, but so far again.
And Seger, the Danish team manager, he put his faith into their youngsters, and they certainly, on tonight's performance, look like they've got a great future in the sport.
Yeah, they do. I think the young guys were probably top scoring for them. So, no, they did good. You know, credit to them. They won tonight, and you know, we'll come back next year. We never give up, so we'll come back next year, give it another crack, and see what happens.
We know you will. Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
Well, what a night. Congratulations to Denmark. Niels Christian Iversen has had a fantastic World Cup. He really is in the form of his life. Michael Jensen and Anders Seger, the team managers, celebrate. And the Danes are back on top of the world. Fantastic achievement from them with this new era of Danish Speedway with the youngsters coming through. Let's hear from Niels Christian Iversen now with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Niels, I can see what it means to everybody. It was just an all-round fantastic team performance tonight.
Unbelievable. Fuck. It was, yeah, it's unreal, you know. Such a young team we have, and you know, we managed to do it. You know, I said before the meeting, if we have some luck and some determination, then we can do it. But everything fell in our place tonight, and we won it.
Congratulations! I know you've got to go. Thanks, Niels.
Well, what a night it's been. Absolutely fantastic. Sam Amalenko, I've got to say, that was Ollie Nygren I just saw going past there as well, the old Wimbledon rider from years ago. So, big deal as far as Denmark are concerned. They've snatched it from Australia. I have to say, you didn't know which way it was going to go, though, did you?
Absolutely not. And what a fresh approach that Denmark's brought to this thing. They got a team manager that's really done the tactics behind the scenes. Young team, great achievement.
Denmark then are the men that will lift aloft the Ovi Funding Trophy, of course. That famous Swedish rider. But we'll take a short break. When we come back, the analysis we've got here at Melilla. Denmark are the 2012 Speedway World Cup champions as Team Denmark, just 4 of them this year, celebrate. But of course the Australians, well, commiserations to them. They did their best, there is no doubt. But in the end, a 3-point difference between Denmark, the new world champions, from Australia on 36. Russia coming through into that bronze medal position above the hosts, Sweden on just 24. Let's get down to pit road then and speak with Steve Brandon, who's got Jason Crump, the Australian team captain, with him.
Jason, so close yet again.
Mate, the last 4 heats in the last few years have hurt us, and again today, you know, Chris did a great job in that Joker ride, and then, you know, he and I didn't back it up in the last 2, so disappointing for sure.
I know it's tough. I mean, a silver medal is no consolation at this point in time. But, you know, again, the team thing, amazing how the guys bond together in this week.
I'm the captain of the Australian Speedway team, and I'm so proud to be that. The way we all acted, behaved, raced this week, I'm really proud of the boys, and Lemu's first year in charge. It's nice to know that there's some guys coming through after I'm out.
I know there's a lot of people watching in Australia this morning that have been fingers crossed for the last few heats, I know.
Mate, I have my fingers crossed, but Denmark just raced that bit better than us.
Well done tonight, thanks for your time.
That was Jason Crump a little bit earlier on. These are live pictures as Team Denmark are paraded around the Malilla, I should say, racetrack here. It's getting colder. It's still very damp here, I've got to say. But and you may not have agreed, perhaps, with the tactics of some of the teams tonight, but certainly you wouldn't have turned your TV off. That is for certain, because it has been an enthralling night of World Cup Speedway, Sam.
What a heck of a finish. We've had some great meetings with this World Cup. And for Denmark to come in here and beat what I would consider to be the favorites of Australia, they've done a great job with such a young team, Keith. Inspirational, really.
Are we seeing Denmark back as a dominant force? I mean, remember the Great Danes of old? I mean, they've had a good team for some time. Well, you do, exactly, exactly.
I do remember, and it's just really good to see they got in depth. They got some quality riders, and they can actually take a break from some of their top stars that are in the Grand Prix and breed the young guys, and they went out there and performed.
As the boys make their way to the podium in the centre of the green here, let's talk a little bit about this year's rulings. Obviously, just 4-man teams. 20 heats are deciding this year because of the 4-man team format. Slightly different rules here and there, but it seems at the end of the day to have given us a great competition. I think the only disappointment perhaps is in the race-off only one team comes through.
Yeah, overall, I think it's been an exciting format all the way through. I mean, the jokers work in up and down ways. Denmark would have felt robbed if they would have not been able to take this thing, knowing that they had such a good, strong performance in the heat races to get themselves into the qualifying parts of this event to go there. It worked out in their favor. At the end of the day, I think all the excitement and the drama, this has really been great. I don't think you should knock it.
Well, as the boys then come to the podium to wrap up the ceremonies, let's go back up to Kelvin Tatum and Nigel Pearson.
Yes, thank you, Keith. Truly remarkable night of Speedway here in Malilla. It really has been something special and something that will live in the memory for quite some time. And the discussions, the debate, will be going on for a long time. But here's Team Denmark, a revamped Danish side. They brought Nicky Pedersen in for the race-off, and they are now World Cup champions. Team with a fantastic group of youngsters coming through the system as well. And let's now hear the Danish national anthem.
Third place team is Russia, and the medals presented by the jury president, FIM jury president, Ila Teroma. And the flower.
Great scenes then from the centre green, and the last time that a team cup was presented here on Swedish soil was to my right, Sam Ermolenko and Team America in 1992.
Yeah, well, okay. It was a great success for us, and as you said, Sweden's now hosted it for the second time since, and Well, Denmark has come over here and stole the march and took it from the race-off and all the way to the final. And, you know, we were questioning the fact that whether, I know what you were going to say, weren't you, about the race-off, the practice coming into the final. It's paid off.
I think so. I mean, Denmark, Nicky Pedersen seemed to be quite happy to come through the race-off. I mean, I know they always say that when they've had to come through the race-off, but fact of the matter is they seem to have took it as a positive spin as opposed to a negative one.
I think that's the right approach. You know, this is a world championship and, you know, anything can happen. This formula is tried out for the first time. It could have backfired on any one of the teams that got into the position they were in, but it's worked out for them, and when you look back at it, you can say, okay, it does work.
Russians getting bronze was fantastic, of course. They've done a great job all week as well, as we said. Done a great job all week as well, as we see now. Chris Holder picking up a medal. Darcy Ward, who came back tonight after that injury that he was carrying, of course. They're not going to be happy with this. Davey won't be too happy with his night's work, I don't suppose. And Jason Crump perhaps a little disappointed as well. 3 times a world champ. And as far as the World Cup is concerned, they really wanted this tonight.
Proud of the boys. They went out there and done their job. Davey Watt is probably, you know, feels that, you know, he probably let the team down, but in the game it is a team effort, and everybody plays their part. Mark
Lemon to the left, team manager now, taking over from Craig Boyce this year. And Nicky Pedersen, you just see his side profile coming into the shot there a little bit. He has got a grin that's going to split the top of his head.
He had that grin whenever he did that little turn the throttle off thing too, and it worked in his favor. Then it almost backfired, and that's just a drama of the. We've seen it, man. We witnessed it. Everybody was turning the throttles up the end, but that's the way the rules are. Denmark squeezed it out of everybody and won it.
I've said it before, he is like a pantomime villain, isn't he, Nicky Pedersen? But you can't dislike the man because he never stops trying. Good team. Who's your man of the match? Let's talk about man of the match at the moment. I mean, Denmark obviously strength in depth, but it's difficult to pick one. Niels Christian Iversen was looking so good.
Jensen, man, that guy has got some track craft that I haven't seen in such a young performer. He's out there using it. I've seen it. I've been there and really worked racetracks and got the most out of him, but he does it so naturally. I've been riding since 7 years old. That's obviously important.
Ovi Fundin, yes, Ovi Fundin, the man who, the famous Swede, the Red Fox, named after this man, the great man, many times a Team Cup winner. But of course, since it's been the World Cup, he's got his name on the biggest trophy in team sport, and it's held aloft above Denmark. Of course, Denmark have held the World Team Cup trophy and the World Cup trophy many times, but the run of Poland, of course, I suppose we ought to bring Poland into this as well. 5-time winners, 3 on the trot over the last 3 years and out of it.
Yeah, they're the ones that think that this new system is probably, it's done them the hardest. They felt that, you know, the old system worked for them. They totally got burnt out on it straight away. They couldn't perform when they were in their own backyard in Poland at Bydgoszcz, and it didn't work for them, and they never were able to recover from that.
So the celebrations, the champagne shower and the fireworks will be going off at any moment. And I have to say, out of respect, a lot of the Swedish fans have stayed to see the ceremony at the end, which I think is very respectful. But you wouldn't expect anything less in Sweden, would you?
No, that's right. But you can look back at this last week and wonder what happened to Sweden. You know, they haven't been a part of the actual race off. They didn't get a lot of track time. I believe that AJ didn't take any practice, but he went out there and performed the best for Sweden. You know, it's very, very difficult out there, and it is a world championship, and you got to participate in it to be competitive.
Well, while the world's media concentrate on Team Denmark, the 2012 Speedway World Cup champions, the people who put it together, of course, are BSI, the managing director of which is Paul Bellamy. He's with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Keith. Yes, he is. Paul, you've got a smile on your face. Earlier today, we looked like we may not even get an event on today, but again, the World Cup delivers.
I think so. We're just relieved, Chris, to be honest, that we're all going home tomorrow. I mean, to put 4 events on over 7 days across Europe and not have a rain delay is just unbelievable. So relieved, I think, yeah.
And once again, it comes down to the last race. Once again, Australia just missing out.
Yeah, I feel a bit for Australia. You know, they were unlucky last year in Poland and they're a bit unlucky this year. But, fantastic climax to the World Cup.
Unfortunately, the host Sweden really didn't get into the meeting at all, but it's nice to see Russia on the podium.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of youngsters coming through in Russia. Obviously, Emil's leading the charge there, and we had a competitive event tonight with all 4 teams. As we went into it, could have won it.
And with teams like Russia now becoming to get competitive on a regular basis, 2013, have any news on the venue for the Speedway World Cup?
2013, we're in talks with Prague. So we're talking to the Czech Republic. The new format where the host is seeded straight through to the final allows me to move it around a little bit more, and I think that'll be good for Speedway. So we've got no contract signed yet, but we're in discussions with them.
Congratulations on another super event. Thanks, well done.
Thanks very much, Chris.
I'm sure everybody's sitting at home with a smile on their face as Team Denmark gave one of the girls a drink that she wasn't expecting, I think, just a little earlier on. But it is actually very cold, so I don't blame her for not wanting to be in the champagne. Team Denmark then, 2012 Speedway World Cup champions, a great team, a young team led by that man, Nicky Pedersen, who came back in for the race-off, of course, brought back in. And they have quite a lot of depth, don't they, in older, experienced guys, and now these youngsters as well. Jensen, Michael Jensen was a true superstar tonight, as you've already said. I mean, really, what's holding Denmark back? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing really at all. I mean, they got a new fresh team manager bringing a different dimension into it. The guy's background is a bit more with the psychological side of approach of winning races and keeping your cool. And maybe Nicky Pedersen might learn something from that. At the end of the day, they went out there and they did such a good job, and it's great to see.
It's not over for Nicky Pedersen either, is it? This guy absolutely revels in whatever aspect of the sport, whatever it demands from him, he's prepared to do. Whether it means roll the throttle off to get the extra... I mean, that thinking on the hoof was just... They'd obviously discussed it, but...
Yeah, well, Anders, I think, made sure that he knew what he was doing when he went out there, and he's a good enough rider to be able to put that into position. And to be fair to the whole squad, they worked all the way through this thing right to the end. They brought back Nicky Pedersen, as you did, from his holiday. He was out sunning it, and he came in here fresh, and he took that approach, and it carried on through the whole team.
Where did Team Australia go? We've seen them with their heads down as far as the Speedway World Cup is concerned. It's a team that can win this tournament. They've got some of the best riders in the world, you've got to say, and they still didn't manage to crack a young Denmark.
No, I thought for sure that Chris Holder possibly could have got his first gold medal of 2012, and he's really going to be pushing Greg Hancock for another gold medal or another medal in the World Championship. Australia's, I don't think they have anything to worry about. They're going to be able to keep their own.
Joker, let's talk Joker. Okay. Tactical Joker, very important part to keep all of the teams on side as far as the points are concerned. But really tonight we probably saw the dark side of that, perhaps.
Maybe so, but at the end of the day, you know, the formula that they put out there, or BSIs have put out there, the fact that they can seed in the national hosting country, and there's a chance that, you know, there's going to be 3 competitors today. We've seen, I mean, Russia came in here and stole it from Sweden. I mean, that was incredible in itself. The Joker does play its part. I don't know if they're going to tweak it at all. We'll soon find out after all this one, but at the end of the day, man, it was pretty dramatic out there.
Well, we've seen quite a lot of Chris Louis this week, and if you want to join us at his track, of course, we'll be at Ipswich. It's the Premier League clash between Ipswich at home and Somerset at 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 2 HD. Join us there live on Tuesday evening, of course. What a fantastic evening then we ended up having here at Malilla in Sweden for the World Cup final. It is Denmark on top in the end. The Australians are just runners-up, but it was in the end a fantastic tournament. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed all our coverage. We'll see you again on Tuesday night.
Now here I am. I'm a drop in your ocean. Noise in the crowd, pushing through your reason.